Hello, welcome to this update for the severe weather for Friday, April 25th. So we had some changes in the last few hours for spots of Texas and Oklahoma, and also we have these storms happening, spots of Mississippi, Tennessee, a few thunderstorms, but now they added an enhanced risk for spots of Texas again and into eastern New Mexico as well. And then there's a small marginal in Ohio and Kentucky, and there's this slight risk in Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma, and the marginal. So we do have 15% wind in Texas and New Mexico, and 5%, also 5% those storms in Ohio and Kentucky. The hail is 30% and hatched for potential very large hail with those cells, so please be careful, protect yourself from the hail. And there's the tornado threat 5% as well, and 2%, especially Texas and New Mexico. So be careful. And as I speak now, they plan on putting a tornado watch, a mesoscale discussion that I saw there. So be on alert in those areas, be careful. A concentrated area of severe thunderstorms is forecast centered on the Texas South Plains during the late afternoon and evening. A couple of tornadoes will be possible, as well as large to giant hail being probable with the most intense supercell. So you saw that giant hail, just like the one we had yesterday, like more than 5-inch hail we had yesterday. And there were like many tornadoes yesterday in Texas. So you saw what happened. So please stay safe, because something very similar might happen today. So let's see here. There's still for tomorrow, if I can get it to work here, this small marginal risk in Texas and New Mexico again, and this big area of just thunderstorms, general risk of thunderstorms. So we do have a 5% wind, spots of Texas and New Mexico, those storms, some hail too, 5%, and 2% tornado in Texas and New Mexico. So be aware tomorrow, but nothing that crazy. A couple strong to severe storms possible Saturday, because parts of the east of eastern New Mexico into the adjacent West Texas. So be careful in those areas. Day 3 is a different story here. We do have, let's see if it loads, this light risk is spots of Nebraska into South Dakota for Sunday, day 3, and this might grow still depending on what happens. And there's this giant marginal risk, goes literally from Mexico to Canada, this very big marginal risk. So and the general risk of thunderstorms. So there's the 5-15%, and isolated severe storms are possible because southern high plains and central plains Sunday afternoon and evening. Scattered severe thunderstorms are possible because northern plains and upper Midwest Sunday evening night. So be careful in those areas, and just read here if you want more information about the dry line and the jet and everything that will cause this. So please be careful in those areas. And day 4 might be a very big day. So we have this 30% risk, like the enhanced risk still for Monday, goes all the way from Kansas to Wisconsin, and there's this 15% from Texas to the UP of Michigan, so a very big area. This might affect Canada as well, so be aware in Ontario. So let's see if there's something important. So a strong mid-level jet stream will move rapidly northeastward from the southwest into the upper Midwest on Monday. As this occurs, a surface low will deepen, move from the northern plains to the northern Great Lakes. Strong southwest lower tropospheric flow will affect high theta E air northward across the Midwest into parts of the upper Midwest. Broken to scattered cloud cover will support surface heat and strong destabilization across the warm sector from southeast Minnesota into western Wisconsin and the southern plains. Isolated scattered supercells like along the dry line, which extend from the southern plains into Kansas. The greatest focus for severe weather on Monday will be from eastern Kansas into northern Missouri, much of Iowa, into southern Minnesota and Wisconsin. Moderate to strong instability, strong shear, and increasing forcing on essence supports the potential for numerous rounds of severe thunderstorms. The wind profile supports supercells capable of all severe hazards, including potential strong tornadoes. So please be careful Monday, day 4. And this is the time to prepare because it's already Friday. So have a plan and prepare. Be ready. Tuesday, we still have this big slight risk from Texas to New York, the 15%, and it's a big area as well. So be careful next Tuesday. It goes kind of all the way to Vermont. So be careful. Day 6, day 7, day 8, nothing. So be aware. There are still some wind warnings in New Mexico, some wind advisories in California, Nevada, and Montana, and some red flag warnings scared still. So be aware, there's still the potential for flash flooding in Texas and Oklahoma, those storms. There's light on the marginal risk, so be careful. There's the marginal all the way from Louisiana to New York. There's day 2 from New Mexico to Arkansas, day 3, Nevada, parts of Idaho and Oregon, and also the other marginal from Montana to Wisconsin. For Monday, day 4 shows the marginal for Wyoming and all the way to Michigan. Day 5, Texas to Indiana again. So be careful those areas. This might change still. There's still some time. So there's still some snow in California, Nevada today into Saturday, especially Saturday might get kind of heavy in the Sierra Nevada. Be careful. Day 3, Montana, Wyoming again, even Idaho, a spot or two of Nevada. Day 4 for Monday still shows in Wyoming some snow. Day 5, a finger or two. Day 6, so be careful in those areas. Day 1 through 7 shows the greatest rainfall amounts in Oklahoma, into Missouri and Arkansas, spots of northern Texas, even to 5 inches in a spot or two in Oklahoma. So be careful next 7 days and the storms further north as well. There's the marginal risk there for day 4 and day 5. So, not day 3, day 4. So be careful in those areas, and yeah, so be aware. Especially those storms now and everything, just checking there's like some winter storm stuff in California. There's some minor to moderate winter storm severity index. There's more moderate and major in Montana, in those mountains there. So be careful those areas. And the HER does have like the significant tornado parameters, spots of Texas, does have this evening across right that area of the enhanced risk there. Does have some higher parameters, nothing that crazy, but better watch that. There's like later in the evening shows kind of the same thing, maybe a little bit less than before, and this is in the afternoon. It's still building up, so nothing that crazy early in the afternoon. But please be careful, especially as this builds towards 1Z in the evening, shows some stronger parameters. There's still like the updraft realistic for today until Saturday morning, shows like a thing or two there, but the main area in Texas and eastern New Mexico, those storms, especially that they are the enhanced risk right in Texas, shows even some purples there and more red, so that's a big chance for giant hail plus severe wind and tornadoes, especially tornadoes. So please be careful those storms, and as I just showed you there, I will show you here. So there's the HER shows a storm or two in southeastern Texas this afternoon, but nothing that crazy. Those storms in the mid-south, some showers there, and then this starts happening. Some cells start firing near northern Texas, Oklahoma, and the Panhandle. So this goes, and these other initial cells just south of Amarillo and other spots of Texas, those cells, especially that bigger one there, might produce some very big hail initially, and that might start producing tornadoes easily as well, just like yesterday by the shape of this. So please be careful, western Texas and isolated thing or two as well, and then this goes, and later the evening grows even more. You see a bunch of strong cells surrounding the panhandle and south of the panhandle as well. Those white, that black and white in the middle of the cell, might be some giant hail plus the tornadoes. They show like very strong cells, northern Mexico, I think, or two, some more spots western Texas. So please be careful. And by nighttime, just a mass of storms there in Texas into the night and into tomorrow morning. Shows still some big rain and big storms by Saturday tomorrow. So stay safe in those areas. There's the Cape still higher across Texas, some 2,500 to 3,000 euros per kilogram, especially northern Texas. But there, in the Panhandle, before the storm start, that shows some 2,500 joules per kilogram, to 2,300. So that's quite high, especially slightly earlier in the afternoon, shows close to 2,500. So yeah, stay safe in those areas. Be careful. For Sunday, the Colorado State University does have some, even some 30% chance of severe storms Sunday as well. So go or watch Sunday. It might be a sneaky day. So be careful. The SIPs has some things as well. And here's the slight risk they have for Sunday. For Monday, the SIPs is there, but I trust more this one. The Colorado State University still has a 45% chance of severe weather Monday, and that hatched for potential significant severe weather those portions of the Midwest into the plains. So please stay safe Monday. Please be careful that 30% there. And there's still Tuesday has a few spots of 30%, including further into the northeast as well. So be careful. Day 6, the SIP still has stuff in Texas, and across the university, some stuff in the plains as well. So keep watching. Be careful in those areas. There's still some snow accumulation next 5 days. Next spots of the Sierra Nevada, the European show like 10 inches, 12 inches spots there, and Nevada even shows some 5 inches more snow spots in Nevada, and Utah even 2 inches, 1 inch in a spot or two there. The mountains far north some 2 inches and a half, even more. But in Montana still shows upwards of 16 inches in the mountains, in spots to 14 inches, some more in Wyoming to 7, 8 inches. So be aware. There in Idaho as well, shows Colorado a thing or two, northern New Mexico maybe, and even a mountain or two further south in California shows thing or two in the northeast, some 2 inches in Alaska, more there some 4 inches, 3 inches, some other even to 48 inches in the mountains, more snow for southern Alaska there, and in the Aleutian Islands. So be careful in those areas. They're still here in Canada. Goes all the way from Yukon to Quebec. This field of snow shows spots of 3 centimeters, 7 centimeters, even to 18 centimeters. In the northwestern territories of 14 centimeters. Northern Manitoba might get more snow, so until Wednesday, 5 days, shows even 19 centimeters. Spots of northern Labradors, in Quebec, some 30 centimeters, 15 centimeters, some isolated spots, southern Quebec as well, and central Quebec, and even sneaky snow to further south in Newfoundland, southern Quebec, central Ontario, does show some. And what just happened here? There's the icon, shows like, especially northern Manitoba, even more than 30 centimeters. Northwestern territories might get a good share of it, and Yukon. And there's the GFS, shows even more in Nunavut and Manitoba, and the GFS even more in Quebec. So be aware, next 5 days, this might come from this, because there's now in Yukon Northwest Territories some snow there, and some in Nunavut and Manitoba. this goes continues until Sunday in Manitoba, and possibly some freezing rain as well. Then Monday, this goes those severe storms in Ontario, Monday to Tuesday, and some snow behind the storms. This goes into Wednesday, and the snow in Quebec again, and still some stuff in Nunavut next week, maybe in the Pacific as well. So be aware those areas. And the wind is still higher in the southwestern US, Nevada, spots there are some 40s mile per gust, low 50s. Still Saturday evening, tomorrow, portions of the western US, maybe the northeast, a finger or two near Atlantic Canada, in the Labrador Sea. And then this goes, shows Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, stronger winds, the storms there. And then this goes Tuesday, Wednesday to the northeast and Atlantic Canada. Maybe some sneaky winds in western northern Canada sometime in May. So be aware those areas. And the temperatures are similar to what I showed you yesterday. Still already milder, central southern Canada. Still colder, much colder during the night, especially in Nunavut, even to minus 26 in Nunavut. Be careful, those wind chills shows more cold western Canada. In the US, mainly in the Rockies, those 20s, teens, and in the south, some May is even close to 90. But yeah, be aware. And in Canada, that cold just moves like a wave. It moves east, and the northern US as well. Next Tuesday morning, colder. This goes and just moves east on May 1st, a little bit colder there in Quebec. And then this goes. So stay safe in those areas, especially the storms. Be careful, and might have some heavy rain still in Atlantic Canada next 5 days. So be aware those areas this go, especially Sunday, Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. So be careful there.